Hello friends, welcome back. So now we are going to talk about different pins that are available on Arduino Uno. So on the board we have different types of pins. These are digital pins, analog pins. Then we have PWM pins. PWM stands for pulse width modulation. We have power pins, serial communication pins, SPI and I2C communication pins, and we have interrupt pins. So there is a lot of different variety. So how do we handle all of them? Let us discuss about each category in detail. So first of all, we have power pins. These pins are on the left side of the board, and these pins are mainly used to power the Arduino and external sources. We do not provide the power to the board here, but we mainly use them to power the external devices. You can power your components like your sensor, they need ground and VCC, or your motors, anything, wherever you need 5 volt, 3.3 volt or ground, you can use these. You can connect these supply for the breadboard purpose. Then we have digital pins. These are on the right side of the board. These are 14 pins. These can work as input as well as output. These pins will only have two values, low or high. That means logic 0 or 1. The function that can be used to decide whether I am going to use these pins as input pin or output pin, we can set the pin mode. We will talk about the programming part in detail, don't worry about these terms. So the function that we are mentioning here is digital read and digital write. If you want to read something from these pins, that means the pin is acting as an input pin, we will use this function. If we want to write something, that means the pin is acting as the output pin, we will use digital write function. The next category is PWM, pulse width modulation. Here we have a frequency which is of 500 Hz on Arduino Uno, and it is based on a concept of duty cycle. So what does all of this mean? Consider these three waveforms. In the first waveform, our output is high only for a moment and then it is always low. So this is a 500 Hz square wave and output is high just for a moment. In the next wave, that is second one, the output is high for a brief amount of time, but for majority it is low. And in the third wave, output is always high, for certain moment it is low. So this is generated using the concept of pulse width modulation. That means every pulse is having a fixed period, which is 1 by 500 seconds. Now, in that time duration, for how much time the value is high divided by the total duration is called duty cycle. And if you keep your signal high for more amount of time, that means you are sending more power. And if you keep it low for more amount of time, that means you are sending less power to your connected output. This concept is used to control the illuminance of LEDs or speed of motors, and interestingly, these are available on the digital pins itself. Then the next category that we have is interrupt pins. We have two pins, pin number 2 and 3 in the digital pins. Okay, that means the same pin which is our digital D2 and D3 can also be used as interrupt pins. A specific function need to be written and it will trigger whenever you receive the interrupt on these two pins. These pins will have very high preference. That means if you have a program which is going on and you receive the interrupt, the program will be interrupted and the function which is called by the interrupt function will be processed. The next set of pins is UART, that means for serial communication. This is pin number 0 and 1 on digital side. So here we have a receiver and transmitter. This is one pair of receiver and transmitter, and one pair means 2 pins are there. So here we have 2 pins, but we need 4 wires for any serial communication. Why do we need 4 wires? 2 pins for receiver and transmitter and 2 pins for ground and VCC. So that is how for a serial communication we need 4 pins. Bluetooth is one of the most widely used application. Now the next set that we have is I2C. Here what we are doing, we are using pin number 18 and 19. These are above the 14 digital pins. It is a bus protocol with multi-master, multi-slave architecture. What does that mean? That we can have different devices, the components attached in one system. Every component will have its own ID, and here some of the components that support I2C communication are a temperature sensor which is MPL 3115A2, a gyroscope or accelerometer which is MPU 6050, and color sensor TCS 34725. So this is how we use them. These are the sensors. They will be given particular ID and we will connect on these pins and we can access them using I2C protocol. A similar protocol is SPI protocol. Pin number 10, 11, 12, 13. These 4 pins can be used. This is also a master-slave architecture. You can use it to connect your Arduino board to multiple Arduino boards. Here you can have magnetic position sensors or thermocouples as well. So this is one example. You have one Arduino board and it can control the other Arduino board as well. So next time we will talk about that what are the software requirements and how to install them so that we get started with Arduino programming. Keep learning. Thank you.